Good morning, children. Today in physics, we are going to see about sound. So, like your light, sound is also another important branch of physics. We will be learning about the sound and its properties under the heading as acoustics in physics. Okay. So, sound is also a wave like your light, which is of compressed and rarefaction waves. How is it possible for us to hear by the sensory organ ear? The impulses are taken to the brain and the hearing sense is possible. But whatever I speak, how is it audible to you? It is because of the movement of sound waves. So, a wave, what is a wave, my dear children, first of all? A wave is nothing but a mountain and a valley. Can you see in this picture? This is a wave. Okay? It has one mountain and a valley. So, whenever you complete one mountain and a valley, one up and one down, it becomes as a one wave. Okay, my dear children? Yes. So, like your light waves, sound also carries energy. So, it means that the sound wave is both a particle as well as a wave. Whenever I say it as a wave, it means that there are particles making up the wave. When I join these particles, I will get as a wave like this. Then, what type of light wave it is? Light is a electromagnetic wave, whereas sound is a longitudinal wave. Longitudinal means only horizontal direction. It always travels in the horizontal direction and not in your vertical direction. Is a sound possible in the vertical direction? No. Yes. So in the first thing I saw that sound is a wave which is made up of compressed and rarefaction. So what is compression and rarefaction, my dear children? For this, consider a sponge or a spring in your hand. A spring will both elongate as well as shrink. Similar way, your sound waves will be shrink as well as expand. The expanded portions are called as rarefactions, whereas the shrinked ones are called as compression. Sound waves will be either close together or they will be farther apart away. Okay, my dear children? Yes. So, sound is a vibration. Okay. Now, you are lying in a desk. When I tap the desk, how does the sound of tapping reach to your eyes if you are lying on the desk? It is because of the movement of vibrations in the desk. Desk is one object. My hand is a tool used for tapping. So, from my hand, by the action of tapping, the sound waves are transferred to the desk and then reaches to your ear. There occurs a vibration. So, whenever there is vibration, sound wave will be produced. Yes. So, what happens when the sound waves enter the human ear and how it is possible for the humans to hear? In the human ear, excuse me, in the human ear, you will have a part called as eardrum. This is your eardrum. This is the eardrum. The sound waves will be produced whenever there is vibration, as we saw in the previous slide. So, when I speak through the air molecules, the sound will travel and then reach the eardrum present in the ear. The eardrum is nothing but a stretched muscular sheet. Okay, so whenever it is a like your sheet and some waves come and tap on it, it creates a vibration on the eardrum. That vibrations will be carried to the middle ear and then the inner ear and then to your brain with the help of the nerves, thereby leading to the sense of hearing. So, whatever I speak is audible to you just because of the traveling of sound waves in the air molecules and then reaching the eardrum present in your ear. Eardrum is a stretched muscular sheet which vibrates when the sound wave comes and hit on it. The next thing, how a sound is produced. How am I talking? How does the voice come out from my mouth? It is because of the voice box present in the human body. The voice box is called as larynx. Okay, we girls will talk softly. Boys will have a little firmer voice, whereas a baby's voice will be little softer. All these variations are caused because of the voice box. As we grow, there occurs a changes in the voice box also. For a female, the voice box will have the vocal cords which produces the sound by the movement of oxygen. As we inhale and exhale, where there occurs a opening in your foot pipe. Note, my dear children, for allowing the passage of air to enter into the lungs. During that time, you will be having a part in your body called as voice box. In the voice box, you will have two vocal cords, and the vocal cords will vibrate when the air is moving, and that produces the sound for a human being. This is little biological, but in physics you need to know how the sound is produced just by the voice box. What do you have inside the voice box? Voice box means larynx in the human body. In the larynx you have two vocal cords that will vibrate and produce the sound. You will be learning that detail in your biology regarding the structure of larynx and how the voice is produced by the human. Propagation of sound. Propagation of sound means traveling of sound. Propagation means how the sound waves are passing, how it is traveling. All the sound waves need a medium or an object to pass through. That medium can either be solid or liquid or gas. But sound waves cannot pass in a vacuum condition. What is meant by vacuum? Vacuum means no air. It is completely a 0% of air molecule. But your sound needs air for its traveling path. So sound can travel, call it technically as propagate, as in solids, liquids and gases, in all the medium, but it cannot propagate in vacuum because there is no air molecules, whereas your light will travel in vacuum too. This is the major difference between the sound and light. Light also needs medium, as well as it can travel in no medium condition, that is vacuum condition also. So sound also has some properties. Let us see the properties of the sound in detail. The first one is pitch. These are all the words which you have come across in all these years, but you might not be aware of the meaning of it. You would have heard songs of high pitch and low pitches too. But what is that pitch actually? Okay. Before going into that, can you see this diagram, my dear children? Here, this is a wave. So, whenever there is one up and one down, completing like a mountain and a valley, it becomes one wave. I will call that as one wave or one oscillation. So, in this diagram which I have drawn, count and tell me how many waves are like that. How many oscillations are here I have drawn it. I have already told you one wave means one up and one down completes a wave. So like that I have drawn here 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5. 4.5 waves I have drawn here. 4.5 oscillations are drawn here. So a wave means one up and down. Like that, similar waves I have drawn 4 times and I have stopped with one up alone. So 4.5 times. So whenever I calculate the number of waves traveled in 1 second, for a time period of 1 second, if I just count the number of waves propagated in a medium, then that is my frequency. Okay, my dear children. So what is the English textual meaning of frequency? Frequency means how adequate it is, how frequently it is happening. The same thing. For a period of 1 second, how many times the waves are repeated? That is the meaning of the frequency. If for a second, if the sound waves are traveled are for 50 means, then it will be, the count will be 50. Or if for a 1 second, if the traveled waves are 100 means, then the count will be 100. If it is 1000 waves traveled means 1000 frequency. I give a unit for the frequency, that is hertz. Hertz means it is the unit of frequency named after the person who found frequency. You always have to write the H in capital and the Z in small as its symbol. With respect to the frequency only, I will determine whether the given sound is of high pitch or low pitch. Now did you get to know what is a frequency, my dear children? I repeat again, the sound waves, how many sound waves or the number of sound waves traveled for a period of 1 second. For a period of 1 second, if the number of waves traveled is 50 means, then what will be my frequency? I have to indicate it with the unit also. No, my dear children, that is how we are practiced in physics. So if it is of 50 waves means, I will call my frequency as 50 hertz. If it is of 100 waves means, I will call the frequency then as 100 hertz. Okay? Yeah. The frequency ranging from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz is the audible range of human ear. Humans can hear the sound varying from the frequencies of 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. This is a fixed range. In between these only the humans can hear the sound volume. If it either exceeds or if it is below this range, the sound will not be audible to the human ear. Okay. So the smallest value is 20 hertz. If any sound is less than 20 hertz, then that is called as infrasound. If any sound has a frequency more than 20,000 hertz, then it will be ultrasound. So, can I tell that the humans cannot hear both ultrasound as well as infrasound? Yes, because the audible frequency range of human is 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. The next property is loudness. You tell that, ma'am, he is shouting in the class in near to my ears. He talks loud. How can you judge whether the sound is loud or of soft, gentle? It is by your loudness or intensity of the sound waves. So before this we saw another property called as frequency. Frequency and loudness are different. Pitch and loudness. Whenever I talk about pitch, I will be considering about my frequency. Pitch is different property of sound, loudness is different property of sound. In loudness, we will be considering the amount of sound waves, how high the sound waves, how thick the intensity of sound wave is. Whereas in pitch, we counted how much the number of sound waves were considered. Okay, my dear children. So in loudness, the unit of loudness is decibel. It is written as small d and capital B as its symbol. Loudness means how high the sound is, how the amount of intensity of the sound waves. I think you know the meaning of intensity. Intensity means its amount, the its capacity, or the level of the sound wave. Yes, these are some loudness levels in terms of decibel. Always you need to indicate with the symbol, my dear children, whether it is frequency, it is indicated in hertz. Loudness in decibel. Okay. In our average home, the loudness level will be 40 to 50 decibels, whereas it is loud music 90 to 100. If in case of a concert, have you been to a concert? It is nearly 120 decibels. Jet engine will create about 170 decibels of loudness, causing some damages and pain to the ear. Yeah, this is not a property but a different form of sound. The forms of sound. Do we only experience sound while talking? We have also experienced in echo. What is an echo? An echo is nothing but we saw one important property in our class today. What is that? That is, the sound needs a medium, whether it is a solid or liquid or gas. It needs an object as a medium for its travel. So whenever there is no medium to observe the sound waves, we hear the echo. Echo is nothing but a lagging in the return of sound waves. When I talk, the sound waves travel and reaches your ear so that it is heard by you. In case of echo, there won't be any object to receive the sound waves, so that the sound wave which traveled will travel back again to me. So that is why whatever I shout in the high mountains will be heard back again to me, because I have no medium to observe the sound waves. So the sound wave which travel will return back and giving the experience of echo. That is happening whenever you enter an empty room, a new built house. All the furnitures in your home are sound absorbers. They act as a medium to absorb the sound waves. That is why whenever I enter your house, or you the way I speak will not be louder. Whereas whenever I enter an empty house, my voice will be louder, as well as I could experience echo over there. because of no sound absorbers. Whatever I speak will be traveling back again to me. Noise. Noise is also another form of sound, but it is the unwanted sound which is unpleasant for us to hear. We have come across noise pollution. So, what is noise pollution, my dear children? Continuous horning of your vehicles, heavy traffic, drilling machines, mining, all these sounds are irritating to the human and it is an unpleasant one. But that is also a form of sound, the unwanted sound. That is your noise. Hope you got an introduction to sound, my dear children. Let us see that detail once you learn go to your higher grades. Thank you.